On a scorching July afternoon in 2016, 28-year-old adventure photographer Marcus Chen vanished without a trace, while hiking alone in the vast Sonoran desert near Phoenix, Arizona, leaving behind only his rental car at a remote trailhead and a mystery that would consume his family and local authorities for 7 long years. Marcus, a freelance photographer from San Francisco specializing in extreme landscape photography, had traveled to Arizona to capture images of the iconic saguaro cacti during the peak summer heat, a dangerous but potentially rewarding project that would showcase the desert's harsh beauty during its most unforgiving season. That morning, he had informed his girlfriend Sarah via text message that he planned to hike the challenging hieroglyphic trail extension, a remote and poorly marked route known only to experienced desert hikers, with an estimated return time of 6 p.m. to his hotel in Scottsdale. Where are you reading from? Share your city and country in the comments before we continue this story. Marcus was well prepared for desert hiking, carrying professional-grade equipment including GPS devices, emergency beacons, and sufficient water for a full day in temperatures exceeding 115 degrees, making his disappearance all the more puzzling for search and rescue teams. When he failed to return to his hotel that evening and didn't respond to Sarah's increasingly frantic calls and messages, she contacted local authorities who immediately launched a comprehensive search operation involving helicopters, ground teams, and specialized desert rescue units familiar with the deadly conditions of the Sonoran wilderness. The initial search covered over 50 square miles of rugged terrain, including deep washes, rocky outcroppings, and dense stands of saguaro cacti that could easily conceal a person or hide evidence of an accident. But despite the extensive effort, no trace of Marcus was found. His rental car was discovered exactly where he had parked it, with his backup camera equipment and extra water supplies still inside, suggesting that he had indeed begun his planned hike, but had encountered some unknown fate along the trail. 7 years later, in a discovery that would reignite the investigation and finally provide answers to his family's desperate questions, a group of botanists conducting research on saguaro cactus growth patterns would stumble upon Marcus's weathered backpack nestled among a grove of ancient giants, setting in motion a chain of events that would reveal the truth about his final days in the desert. The search for Marcus Chen quickly became one of the most extensive missing person operations in Arizona's recent history, involving multiple agencies, including the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, Arizona Department of Public Safety, and specialized volunteer search and rescue organizations with decades of experience in desert recoveries. Detective Maria Rodriguez, who specialized in missing persons cases in extreme environments, coordinated the massive search effort that deployed helicopters with thermal imaging equipment, ground teams with search dogs trained for desert conditions, and even drone operators who could access areas too dangerous for human searchers. The Sonoran Desert presented unique challenges for search operations, with its extreme temperatures, dangerous wildlife including rattlesnakes and javelinas, and terrain that could shift dramatically due to flash floods and erosion, making it possible for evidence to be buried or washed away within hours of being deposited. Marcus's girlfriend Sarah flew to Phoenix immediately upon learning of his disappearance, working closely with investigators to provide detailed information about his hiking experience, photography goals, and mental state in the days before his trip to Arizona. The investigation revealed that Marcus was an experienced outdoor photographer who had previously completed challenging shoots in Death Valley, the Mojave Desert, and other extreme environments, making it unlikely that he would have made basic mistakes that could lead to dehydration or getting lost in familiar terrain. Search teams focused initially on the official hieroglyphic trail and its known extensions, but gradually expanded their efforts to include surrounding areas where Marcus might have wandered while seeking the perfect photographic composition, or following animal trails that could lead to interesting subjects. The extreme summer heat limited search operations to early morning and late evening hours, when temperatures dropped below 100 degrees, significantly reducing the amount of time that teams could spend in the field and slowing the overall progress of the investigation. Interviews with other hikers and photographers who had been in the area revealed that Marcus had been seen at the trailhead around 7 a.m. on the day of his disappearance, but no one reported encountering him on the trail itself, suggesting that he had either taken an unmarked route or had left the established path early in his hike. The search operation continued for 3 weeks, with volunteers and professionals covering hundreds of square miles of desert terrain. But the combination of extreme conditions, vast search area, and lack of concrete clues eventually forced authorities to scale back active search efforts while keeping the case open for any new developments. The years following Marcus Chen's disappearance were marked by Sarah's relentless advocacy to keep the case active and her determination to find answers about what had happened to the man she had planned to marry. While the case became a cautionary tale about the dangers of solo desert hiking during extreme weather conditions, Sarah established the Marcus Chen Foundation, which provided safety equipment and training for desert hikers while also funding continued search efforts and supporting other families dealing with missing persons cases in remote wilderness areas. She organized annual search expeditions that brought together volunteers, professional searchers, and Marcus's family members who refused to give up hope that he might still be found alive or that his remains could be recovered to provide closure. The foundation also worked with local authorities to improve trail marking, emergency communication systems, and public education about desert safety, using Marcus's disappearance as an example of how even experienced outdoor enthusiasts could encounter unexpected dangers in extreme environments. Detective Rodriguez continued to investigate the case even after the active search was suspended, following up on reported sightings, analyzing satellite imagery for any signs of human activity, and coordinating with other agencies when similar cases occurred in desert regions throughout the Southwest. The Sonoran Desert's harsh conditions meant that any evidence left behind would be subject to extreme weathering, flash floods, and scavenging by wildlife, making it increasingly unlikely that traditional search methods would locate Marcus or his equipment after the first few months following his disappearance. Sarah hired private investigators and consulted with psychics, following every possible lead no matter how remote the chances of success, driven by her love for Marcus and her need to understand what had happened during his final hours in the desert. The case attracted attention from outdoor recreation communities, safety organizations, and media outlets that used Marcus's story to highlight the importance of proper preparation, communication protocols, and emergency procedures for anyone venturing into dangerous wilderness areas alone. Marcus's photography work gained posthumous recognition, as galleries and magazines featured his images to honor his memory and raise awareness about both the beauty and dangers of extreme landscape photography in places like the Sonoran Desert. The investigation also revealed the limitations of current search and rescue technology in vast, remote areas where GPS signals can be unreliable, communication is impossible, and environmental conditions can quickly destroy or conceal evidence of human presence. In March 2023, 7 years after Marcus Chen's disappearance, a team of botanists from Arizona State University led by Dr. Jennifer Martinez made a discovery that would finally break open the case and provide the answers that Marcus's family had been desperately seeking for nearly a decade. The research team was conducting a long-term study on saguaro cactus growth patterns and climate adaptation in a remote section of the Sonoran Desert, approximately 8 miles from the official hieroglyphic trail, when graduate student Kevin Walsh noticed something unusual nestled among a cluster of ancient saguaro cacti. What appeared to be a weathered backpack was partially buried in desert sand and debris, camouflaged by years of exposure to the elements, but still recognizable as human-made equipment that didn't belong in the pristine wilderness setting. Dr. Martinez immediately contacted park rangers and law enforcement, recognizing that the discovery could be related to one of several missing persons cases in the area, and the site was quickly secured as a potential crime scene while investigators were summoned to examine the find. When Detective Rodriguez arrived at the location with forensic specialists and search and rescue personnel, She immediately recognized the distinctive blue and gray backpack that matched the description provided by Sarah Chen 7 years earlier, along with camera equipment and personal items that had been documented in the original missing person report. The backpack contained Marcus's professional camera with memory card still intact, his journal with entries documenting his photography plans and route intentions, and personal items including his wallet and identification that confirmed his identity beyond any doubt. More significantly, the journal contained detailed entries from his final days that revealed he had become lost after leaving the marked trail to photograph a particularly impressive grove of saguaro cacti, and had been unable to find his way back to the main path despite his GPS equipment and navigation experience. The location where the backpack was found was in a deep wash surrounded by towering cacti and rocky outcroppings that would have been invisible to search helicopters and extremely difficult for ground teams to access, explaining why it had remained undiscovered despite the extensive search efforts immediately following Marcus's disappearance. The discovery reignited the investigation with new urgency, as investigators now had a specific location to focus their efforts and concrete evidence about Marcus's final movements that could guide a more targeted search for his remains. The forensic analysis of Marcus Chen's recovered backpack and its contents provided investigators with crucial insights into his final days in the Sonoran Desert, while also revealing the sequence of events that had led to his death and the reasons why previous search efforts had failed to locate any trace of his presence. The camera's memory cards contained hundreds of photographs taken during his final hike, including time-stamped images that allowed investigators to reconstruct his route and timeline with remarkable precision, showing that he had indeed left the marked trail around 10 a.m. on July 15, 2016, to pursue photographic opportunities in the remote cactus grove. Marcus's journal entries, written in increasingly shaky handwriting as dehydration and heat exhaustion took their toll, documented his growing realization that he had become disoriented and lost, despite his experience and preparation for desert hiking in extreme conditions. The final journal entry, dated July 17, 2016, described his decision to seek shelter among the saguaro cacti during the hottest part of the day, hoping to conserve his remaining water and energy until temperatures dropped enough for him to attempt another navigation effort. Forensic experts determined that Marcus had survived for at least 3 days after becoming lost, rationing his water and seeking shade among the cacti, but had ultimately succumbed to hyperthermia and dehydration when temperatures exceeded 120 degrees for several consecutive days. The location where his backpack was found showed evidence of human habitation, including a makeshift shelter constructed from camera equipment and clothing, indicating that Marcus had attempted to survive using his available resources while waiting for rescue or trying to find his way back to safety. Search teams immediately focused their efforts on the area surrounding the backpack discovery, using ground-penetrating radar, cadaver dogs, and systematic grid searches to locate Marcus's remains, which were found 3 days later approximately 200 yards from where his equipment had been discovered. The condition of the remains, which had been naturally mummified by the extreme desert heat and low humidity, allowed forensic pathologists to confirm the cause of death as hyperthermia and to rule out any signs of foul play or animal attack. DNA analysis confirmed the identity of the remains as Marcus Chen, finally providing his family with the closure they had sought for 7 years, while also solving one of Arizona's most challenging missing persons cases. The investigation revealed that Marcus had made several critical errors in judgment, including underestimating the difficulty of navigation in the unmarked terrain, and overestimating his ability to find his way back to the main trail once he had left it to pursue photographic opportunities. The recovery of Marcus Chen's remains and the resolution of his case had profound impacts on desert safety protocols, search and rescue procedures, and public awareness about the extreme dangers of solo hiking in environments like the Sonoran Desert during peak summer conditions. Sarah Chen, while devastated by the confirmation of Marcus's death, expressed gratitude for finally having answers and being able to lay him to rest, transforming her grief into renewed advocacy for wilderness safety education and improved search technologies. The Marcus Chen Foundation expanded its mission to include funding for advanced search equipment, including improved GPS tracking devices, satellite communication systems, and drone technology specifically designed for use in extreme desert environments where traditional search methods often prove inadequate. The case prompted Arizona state parks and recreation authorities to implement new safety requirements for solo hikers in designated wilderness areas, including mandatory check-in procedures, improved trail marking, and enhanced emergency communication systems that could help prevent similar tragedies. Dr. Martinez and her research team, who had discovered Marcus's backpack, worked with the foundation to develop new protocols for scientific researchers working in remote areas, ensuring that their activities could contribute to search and rescue efforts when missing persons cases occurred in their study areas. The photographs recovered from Marcus's camera were eventually displayed in a memorial exhibition that showcased both his artistic talent and the deadly beauty of the Sonoran Desert, serving as a powerful reminder of the risks that outdoor photographers and adventurers face when pursuing their passion in extreme environments. Detective Rodriguez used the case as a training example for other law enforcement agencies, demonstrating how environmental factors, search limitations, and the vast scale of desert wilderness areas could complicate missing persons investigations even when extensive resources were deployed. The case also highlighted the importance of persistence in missing persons investigations, showing how evidence could remain hidden for years before being discovered by chance, and emphasizing the need to keep cases active even when initial search efforts prove unsuccessful. Marcus's journal entries were studied by survival experts and desert safety instructors as examples of how even experienced outdoor enthusiasts could make fatal errors in judgment when faced with extreme conditions and disorientation. The location where Marcus died was marked with a small memorial plaque installed by the foundation, serving as a reminder to other hikers about the importance of staying on marked trails and maintaining communication with others when venturing into dangerous wilderness areas. The case inspired new research into desert survival techniques, navigation technology, and emergency signaling methods that could help future hikers avoid Marcus's fate or increase their chances of being found if they became lost in similar circumstances. The scientific and technological advances that emerged from the Marcus Chen case had lasting impacts on wilderness safety, search and rescue operations, and our understanding of human survival in extreme desert environments, while his story became a powerful educational tool for outdoor recreation communities worldwide. The Marcus Chen Foundation partnered with technology companies to develop new GPS devices with extended battery life, satellite emergency beacons with improved signal strength, and smartphone applications that could function in areas with no cellular coverage, all designed specifically for use in remote desert environments. Research conducted using data from Marcus's case contributed to improved understanding of how heat stress affects decision-making and navigation abilities, leading to new training protocols for desert hikers and better preparation guidelines for extreme weather conditions. The foundation also funded the development of advanced search technologies, including drones equipped with thermal imaging and ground-penetrating radar systems that could detect human remains or equipment buried under desert sand and debris. Sarah Chen became a nationally recognized expert on wilderness safety and missing persons advocacy, consulting with government agencies, outdoor recreation organizations, and technology companies on improving safety protocols and search capabilities in extreme environments. The case prompted changes in how search and rescue operations are conducted in desert environments, with agencies adopting new strategies that account for the unique challenges of extreme heat, vast search areas, and the rapid degradation of evidence in harsh conditions. Marcus's photography work gained international recognition posthumously, with his images being used in educational materials about desert ecosystems, climate change, and the importance of wilderness conservation, ensuring that his artistic legacy would continue to inspire others while promoting safety awareness. The journal entries and photographs recovered from his final hike provided researchers with unprecedented insights into the psychological and physical effects of extreme heat stress, contributing to medical knowledge about hyperthermia and improving treatment protocols for heat-related emergencies. The memorial exhibition of Marcus's work traveled to museums and galleries across the country, combining artistic appreciation with safety education and raising funds for continued research into wilderness survival and search technologies. The case also influenced policy changes at the federal level, with the National Park Service and other agencies implementing new requirements for solo hikers in extreme environments and improving coordination between different search and rescue organizations. The Marcus Chen Foundation established scholarship programs for students studying emergency medicine, search and rescue techniques, and outdoor recreation safety, ensuring that his legacy would continue to benefit future generations of wilderness professionals and enthusiasts. The annual Marcus Chen Memorial Symposium became a premier gathering for wilderness safety experts, search and rescue professionals, and outdoor recreation advocates, bringing together diverse perspectives on how to prevent similar tragedies while supporting those who choose to explore the world's most challenging environments. 10 years after Marcus Chen's disappearance and 3 years after the discovery of his remains, his story continued to influence wilderness safety practices and search technologies, while serving as a powerful reminder of both the beauty and danger inherent in extreme outdoor adventures. The Marcus Chen Foundation had grown into an international organization that provided safety equipment, training, and support to outdoor enthusiasts in more than 20 countries, while also funding research into survival technologies and search techniques that had saved dozens of lives in various wilderness environments. Sarah Chen had remarried a fellow outdoor safety advocate she met through her foundation work, finding love again while maintaining her commitment to honoring Marcus's memory through continued service to the outdoor community and advocacy for wilderness safety. The advanced GPS and communication technologies developed in response to Marcus's case had been adopted by military units, scientific research teams, and adventure tourism companies operating in extreme environments around the world, proving that innovations inspired by tragedy could have far-reaching benefits. The Sonoran desert location where Marcus died had become a pilgrimage site for photographers and hikers who came to pay their respects while also learning about desert safety and the importance of proper preparation for extreme conditions. The research conducted by Dr. Martinez's team in the area where Marcus's backpack was found had led to important discoveries about saguaro cactus adaptation to climate change, with Marcus's case inadvertently contributing to scientific knowledge about desert ecosystems and conservation needs. The search and rescue techniques developed for Marcus's case had been successfully applied to dozens of other missing persons cases in desert environments, with improved success rates and faster recovery times that had brought closure to many other families facing similar tragedies. The educational programs created by the foundation had reached millions of outdoor enthusiasts through schools, recreation organizations, and online platforms, teaching essential safety skills and promoting responsible adventure practices that honored Marcus's memory while protecting others. The memorial plaque at the site of Marcus's death had been expanded into a small interpretive area that provided information about desert ecology, survival techniques, and the importance of respecting the power of extreme environments, serving both as a tribute and an educational resource. The case continued to be studied in academic settings, with researchers using Marcus's experience to better understand human behavior under extreme stress and to develop improved training protocols for people working or recreating in dangerous environments. The photography equipment recovered from Marcus's backpack had been donated to a museum dedicated to adventure photography, where it served as part of an exhibit about the risks and rewards of extreme landscape photography, inspiring others while promoting safety awareness. 15 years after Marcus Chen's disappearance, His legacy had become deeply embedded in the culture of outdoor recreation and wilderness safety, with his story serving as both inspiration and cautionary tale for new generations of adventurers, photographers, and outdoor professionals around the world. The Marcus Chen Foundation had evolved into a comprehensive resource center that provided not only safety equipment and training, but also psychological support for families of missing persons and advocacy for improved search and rescue funding at all levels of government. Sarah Chen had become a leading voice in wilderness safety policy, serving on advisory boards for national parks, outdoor recreation organizations, and technology companies while continuing to share Marcus's story as a powerful example of how passion for adventure must be balanced with respect for natural dangers. The technological innovations inspired by Marcus's case had revolutionized wilderness safety equipment, with new devices incorporating artificial intelligence, satellite connectivity, and biometric monitoring that could automatically alert rescue services when users encountered dangerous situations or health emergencies. The scientific research conducted in the area where Marcus died had contributed to broader understanding of desert ecosystems and climate change impacts, with his case serving as an unexpected catalyst for important conservation work that protected wilderness areas for future generations. The search and rescue protocols developed for extreme desert environments had been adopted internationally, with training programs based on lessons learned from Marcus's case being implemented by emergency services in Australia, Africa, the Middle East, and other regions with similar challenging terrain. The educational impact of Marcus's story had reached far beyond the outdoor recreation community, with his case being studied in business schools as an example of risk management, in psychology programs as a case study in decision-making under stress, and in technology programs as inspiration for innovation in emergency response systems. The Memorial Symposium, held annually in Marcus's honor, had become one of the most important gatherings in the outdoor safety field, bringing together experts from around the world to share research, develop new technologies, and coordinate international efforts to prevent wilderness tragedies. The photography exhibition featuring Marcus's work had become a permanent installation at the Smithsonian Institution, where it continued to inspire visitors while educating them about the intersection of art, adventure, and safety in extreme environments. The location where Marcus's remains were found had been designated as a research site for studying desert survival and human adaptation to extreme heat, with ongoing studies contributing to medical knowledge that benefited not only outdoor enthusiasts, but also workers in hot climates and communities affected by increasing global temperatures. His story had become a standard case study in outdoor recreation programs at universities worldwide, teaching students about risk assessment, emergency preparedness, and the ethical responsibilities that come with pursuing adventures in dangerous environments. Today, nearly 2 decades after Marcus Chen set out on his final photography expedition in the Sonoran Desert, his story continues to save lives and inspire innovation in wilderness safety, proving that even the most tragic losses can generate positive change that protects countless others who share the same passion for adventure and exploration. The Marcus Chen Foundation operates programs in 35 countries, having directly contributed to the successful rescue of more than 500 missing persons through improved equipment, training, and search technologies, while also providing support to thousands of families affected by wilderness tragedies. Sarah Chen, now recognized as one of the world's leading experts on wilderness safety and missing persons advocacy, continues to travel internationally, sharing Marcus's story and promoting the safety innovations that emerged from his case, while honoring his memory through service to the global outdoor community. The GPS and communication technologies originally developed in response to Marcus's disappearance have evolved into sophisticated systems that are now standard equipment for military units, scientific expeditions, and commercial adventure operations in extreme environments around the world. The Sonoran Desert site where Marcus died has been transformed into an outdoor education center that teaches desert survival skills, ecology, and photography techniques to thousands of visitors each year, ensuring that his passion for capturing the beauty of extreme landscapes continues to inspire others while promoting safety and conservation. The research station established near the location of his death has contributed to groundbreaking discoveries about desert adaptation, climate change impacts, and human physiology in extreme heat, with findings that benefit not only outdoor enthusiasts, but also communities worldwide facing increasing temperatures due to global warming. The search and rescue innovations inspired by Marcus's case have been credited with saving hundreds of lives in wilderness emergencies, with improved response times, better equipment, and enhanced coordination between agencies that have transformed how missing persons cases are handled in remote areas. The annual Marcus Chen Memorial Symposium has become a global forum for wilderness safety innovation, bringing together researchers, technology developers, and safety professionals who continue to push the boundaries of what's possible in emergency response and prevention. His photography continues to be exhibited in galleries and museums worldwide, with new generations discovering his artistic vision while learning about the importance of balancing creative passion with safety awareness in extreme environments. The educational programs developed in his memory have reached millions of people through schools, outdoor organizations, and digital platforms, creating a lasting impact that extends far beyond the outdoor recreation community to influence how society thinks about risk, adventure, and the responsible pursuit of dreams. Marcus Chen's legacy lives on in every successful rescue, every life saved by improved safety equipment, every family that finds closure through enhanced search capabilities, and every adventurer who returns safely home because they learned from his story, proving that love, determination, and the commitment to protecting others can transform even the most devastating loss into a force for positive change that benefits the entire world.